welcome back to the second part of the 25 ratings on Viva Enthusiast. So guys, today we are going to go from 19 right up to 10. I'm going to cut, instead of having another episode out, we're going to do one big chunk here. We're going to get the middle chunk of it all done, and then the next episode will go from 9 to 5, and then the last will announce the top 4 in the channel. Now, in 19th place, continuing on with a score of 22.5 out of 25, was a shining light for me from this master, was the Monte Cristo number 5. Absolute shining light. That was, as I said in the previous episode, that Bolivar was a disappointment for me, and Monte Cristo were my two worst Cuban masters of the year. Very disappointing. Monte 5 for me has just performed throughout. Since I first got it. It's just, you know, I originally had the vlogs of the Monte 4. That's just been so poor. I'm giving it a chance to really try and come next year. My double Edmundos, this year it's been so boring. I don't know what's going on. Nothing's really great going on with them. What else have I had? The Supremos, Bismol as well. Nothing has beaten the Monte 5 this year. Nothing in the Monte Cristo lineup. So very interested in doing that. I was very happy with that. In 18th place with a score of 22.6 out of 25 was the Habanero Series 2. Favourite of mine. I do like this one. Really nice cigar, really nice cigar. Different to the D4 and different to the P2. It's sort of in the middle between two, but a very good cigar. I do have another one from where I've got it from, and I've also got an El Laguito UAO, so the old box code 2019 5 box E2s. So we might sample one of those up this year, and probably do it as in like the vintage series or something. In 17th place with a score of 22.74 out of 25 was the Kiba Sea Glow Iv, and this was a very good cigar, very good. I had it after the Sea Glow 2, and the Sea Glow 2 was amazing. The Sea Glow 4 was hollowed, more peppery. It didn't have that sort of creamy profile that the Kiba have. It was very peppery cigar. Not as much the cedar like Kiba twang. It didn't really have it. It was still a good cigar, but it just wasn't reaching to what I had in the Sea Glow 2. In 16th place with a score of 22.8 out of 25 was the Ashman Magnum or Connoisseur number 1. Great cigar, brilliant cigar. This for me is the Ashman half Corona in a Robusto Famoso number 4 format. Really, really good. Love to see what these would do in a little bit more time, and I really need a box of these. Love them, I really do. In 15th place, it's quite surprising this year with a score of 22.9, is the Oil de Monterrey Epicure number 2. Now this cigar, like the Juan Lopez Selection 2, really surprised me in Habanero Series series. It was just, for the time, got the hype of why people like them. I've not ever got on with the Epi 2. I've always found it really strong as well. You know, there's so many cigars that people say are strong and I found mild, and the Epi 2 has always been strong for me. I've never ever had a mild Epi 2 ever. Never ever had a creamy Epi 2 either. Everyone kept telling me it's mild, it's creamy, it's sort of that luscious feel. Never had one. However, time has prevailed. I had a few, you know, early mid part of the year. They weren't special, anything to talk about, just okay. And then it came to the Habanero Series, and the one I had just performed brilliantly. It just shows a bit more, it needs a bit more time, like the Juan Lopez, that sort of classic Habanos profile. It needs time. It was beautifully creamy, lovely and mild. Definitely would have a cab, but I'd even maybe go far and even have a 50 cab, just to have, you know, every day you need a little roster, you can just pick it up and have. I'm still not jumping on the bandwagon yet, even though I would have that. I'd have the 50 cab like with the RAS for you know, just for having, because you've got it there. But the 50 RAS would be a lot more enjoyable for me because I know that it's a solid performer. The FP2, if you can perform on that and better, I'll be very happy with it. In 14th place, and this was actually because I can't remember too much of it, but it was the Perdomo Criollo 10th anniversary Epicure. I can't actually remember too much of it, but it got a very high rating in 23.1 out of 24. So that was the first one to break 23s. Now it is a Cuban seed, so I don't even know it is Nicaragua, Perdomo, but I did really enjoy it. And I believe at the time it did give me a lot of Cubanesque, you know, Habanero Series flavors, and I think that's why I enjoyed it a lot. In 13th place, a favourite of mine with a score of 23.1, got its own order, was the Romeo Julieta Wide Churchills, and this was a great cigar. Not much going on offering in terms of flavour wise, but just a consistent, solid performer. It just has this lovely duvet-esque feel. It's just like, you know, it's very warm and hugging when you're having it. It's a very lovely feel that it gives you, and I really enjoyed it, and that's why it's got quite high in the rankings. In 12th place is Shared in 20 with 23.3 is the Kiba Sea Glow 3 and the Sea Glow 6. For me, they are exactly the same. And you can see in December I did my Kiba series. I sampled both. They're just exactly the same cigar. Fantastic. It just depends on what you prefer. If you like smaller ring gauges, have the 3. If you like bigger ring gauges, have the 6. I personally think I'd prefer the 3 more. I'd prefer the Sea Glow 3 more because it's that smaller gauge, it's a bit longer. The output of that was just phenomenal. And the Sea Glow 6 is a good cigar. Maybe we'll have once every while, you know, it's that bigger gauge, 52, like Ganamazo. But great cigars, great cigars. In 11th place with 23.5 is the Ashman Magnum 50. Now Ashman this year has really just boomed me. Honestly, I hadn't really sampled too much from it before. And Magnum 50 was one of my favourite cigars before, but it has really put itself in my map going forward, you know. And the Magnum 50 was just beautiful. I did a great head-to-head with that and the Monte Cristo Double Le Mundo called the Battle of the 50s, both 50 gauges, around 6 and a bit inches each, and that was just beautiful. That nutty flavour that came out from that Magnum 50 was just superb. I've had a couple after, hasn't been as great as that one, but has performed consistently well, which is why I've kept the score. And in 10th place, so we're going to wrap up this one. 10th place is another score of 23.5. Again, got its own order. Was the Romeo Julieta Short Churchill. Now this was an absolutely brilliant cigar. Performed fantastically in the Habanero series. I've enjoyed it all year round. One of my favourites all year round. I've really enjoyed it. I just think it's a brilliant cigar. Performed pretty solid throughout the year. I've had a couple where it hasn't been as great or really much to shout about, but for the general ones I've had throughout the year, through the box, it's been pretty solid, and you know, it's performed well. So that is my scores, guys, from 19 to 10. So join us again on the next episode where we go from 9 to 5. Check you guys later.